So, Mark, it's that time of year again. It is February, and you know what that means.
It is time for East of the River Comics and Collectibles Show to return to Enfield, the American Legion Hall.
Yes.
It's going to be a rocking good time as always.
Always. February 27th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. You can show up at 9 a.m. for early bird. It's a $3 admission. It's $1 admission to come in at 10, between 10 and 3. If you do not know where the American Legion Hall, it's at 566 Enfield Street, Enfield, Connecticut.
Or for those folks in Enfield, it's right next to the Dunkin' Donuts on Enfield Street.
And you know where all the Dunkin' Donuts are.
You know where all the Dunkin' Donuts are.
Yes.
So that's a great wayfinding. From telling, like, when I discuss with people, like, hey, where's this at? It's like, you know, the Dunkin' Donuts is on Enfield Street. Yeah, it's to the. You're looking at it. It's to the left.
Right.
It's right there.
So you know, it's going to be a great time as always. Lots of vendors. I will be mainly selling comic books at this one because I will be doing a toy show the following weekend, which I'll be bringing majority of all my toys to.
Which we'll talk about later.
Yes, but right now, let's focus, and we hope to see you at East of the River Comic Book and Collectible Show, February 27th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m.
At the American Legion Hall, 566 Enfield Street, Enfield, Connecticut. We will be there, and just so you know, if you're vaccinated, you don't need a mask. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Geekonomics. We're back. It's another show. It's another week. It's another plaid shirt that Brian's wearing. How you doing, Brian?
I'm doing good.
I think you wear the same shirt every week, I think.
I could. I own a lot of flannels.
You do have a lot of flannels.
I do.
You're the flannel man.
The flannel man, yes.
Flannel man.
Got a lot to talk about this week, Mark.
Oh, man. Stuff just keeps coming out. And stuff keeps happening.
Yes. I do want to start the show with two quick things.
Okay.
Last week, you know, we talked about Tom Brady retiring.
We did.
And it's funny because we got two comments from two people I used to work with, Chi-Chi's.
Yes.
And they probably only listened or watched because I put the word Tom Brady in the title. Now,
more because they wanted to see you talk about or hear you talk about Tom Brady because they know you know nothing about sports.
No, this is what I want to talk about.
Yeah.
Last year, or when we started doing this, I said to you, Mark, I said, why don't you do a sports segment? And that lasted all of a week. And
I did it for a while.
No,
I did it for a couple weeks.
Not for very long. I said, Mark, what do you got for sports? And you're just like, nothing. And
well, it's hard to talk sports to someone who doesn't follow sports.
Yeah, but I was saying you could still say what's going on in the sports world.
I know, but it's just
I talk about video games.
Myself, basically.
I talk about video games, and I'm basically talking to myself because you could care less. But you could just say, "Hey, this happened," and I said to you, "You should do a sports segment."
Well, I could try to revitalize it. It is Super Bowl week.
Well, my question to you is, who do you think will win?
I think we've had this conversation last week, but I'll have it again. Pay attention to the show and listen to things I say.
Did we?
This is why we can't have nice things.
We talked about Tom Brady. We might have.
You did ask me this last week, but that's fine. I'll say it again.
Say it again.
My brain says the Rams. My heart says the Bengals.
Well, the Bengals do have that hit song, "Walk Like an Egyptian."
I knew you were going to do that.
Walk like an Egyptian.
So, being a 40-year-old white, are you excited for the halftime show?
I don't even know who is in the halftime show.
Really?
That's how
have you not seen anything that deals with the halftime show?
Is it the Foo Fighters? Because if it's
it's not the Foo Fighters. Well, it should be every year.
It should be the Foo Fighters,
but it's not. It is. You ready for this?
Yeah.
Sitting down. Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, Eminem, Mary J. Blige, and Kendrick Lamar.
Who?
Kendrick Lamar. You know who Kendrick Lamar is.
No, I don't. What does he sing?
He's a rapper.
Yeah, but I don't know.
He worked on the Black Panther soundtrack, didn't he? Wasn't he the one that did the Black Panther soundtrack for The Weeknd?
See, I know who. I love The Weeknd.
I know
his new album is really good.
It's not Dua Lipa. You have no idea who it is.
If it's not The Weeknd or Dua Lipa, I could care less.
You love you some Dua Lipa.
All those artists that you named, I know who they are, other than Kendrick Lamar. Is that a girl?
Lamar. No, it's a guy. It's a guy.
I don't know who any. I know who they all are, but they're all past their prime. I don't understand why any of them are doing the Super Bowl.
This is the shtick of it. I think the Super Bowl is happening in Los Angeles.
Okay.
At SoFi Stadium. So I'm thinking they're going with the West Coast rapper, like California Love.
That's type a Tupac reference.
Yes, I know, but Dr. Dre was in that too.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, so I think they're going with like that era. They're trying to like
bring it back.
Not bring it back, but pay homage to it, And
okay, I had no idea who was in it until just now. I
mean, unless Snoop Dogg shows up in a Springfield Indians jersey during the halftime show, I will not be happy.
I mean, I like Snoop Dogg. Like, I like him as a person, and I like some of his older songs, but
there's gonna be a lot of edits. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, I don't know anything he's done recently that's good.
I don't think they're aiming for what's going on recently. I think
Eminem, I could give or take. I could care less about him.
I think that he comes with Dr. Dre. I think that's
Dr. Dre
buy one get one kind of deal.
Is the puppet master?
Eminem.
Yeah, Dr. Dre is the one who put these people out there.
Yeah.
I mean,
same thing with Snoop Dogg and Mary J. Blige too. I think they're all Dr. Dre.
Yeah.
Branch offs. So I think
Mary J. Blige is good. She's good.
Yeah. So I think Dr. Dre is the main,
right,
and the other ones are like the ancillary connections.
I mean, I think out of all of them, Mary J. Blige is probably the one I would be the most excited to see. If just giving me you're giving me these options, and out of all that, it's Mary J. Blige.
It's only about 15 minutes. Roughly?
Yeah, it's like 15, 20 minutes, right?
Yeah. So
if it's on, I'll end up watching it.
I mean, hey, if Pitbull and Ice Cube can play the NASCAR race,
Pitbull?
Why can't Dr. Dre? You haven't seen this?
No.
NASCAR raced inside the LA Coliseum over the weekend. They built a racetrack on top of the football field. They made a 1/4-mile racetrack. They call it the Busch Light Clash at the Coliseum. That's what it was called.
Interesting.
Usually it's at Daytona or other tracks, like the preseason exhibition race. Like, get ready for the season. Here's their preseason all-star event.
Yeah.
So Pitbull is a part owner of one of the cars in NASCAR now, has been for the past couple of years. So they did a pre-show concert, and Pitbull did that for 45 minutes. And then during the main event of the event, they had a 275 lap segments. So they did a halftime show kind of thing. And they had Ice Cube perform.
Seems very odd. You think it'd be a country star?
I think they were, because it's in LA.
Yeah.
I think they're, again, like the NFL's doing, I think they're trying to
pander to the people.
Yeah, or what they think is pandering to the audience out there, that they're into Ice Cube still, I guess.
Interesting. They're diversifying.
I realized I don't know any Ice Cube songs when I was listening to him perform. I'm I don't think I recognize any of these songs that you're saying.
I know Ice Cube as
NWA Ice Cube, but not
as the entertainer and as NWA, but I don't know.
I don't know his own stuff.
No.
So
interesting.
But yeah, so that was the and they had a DJ playing. Every caution, they had a DJ mixing.
Wow, this is big for. This is like NASCAR, really. This reminds me of when a bar is about to close, they add karaoke. Trivia nights. Yeah. This is NASCAR going, dude, we really gotta get the younger audience involved.
Well, they're trying to our initiative, besides of just trying to make things more accessible.
They're trying to get a younger audience in there.
Well, trying to get, I think, a more diverse audience is what they're aiming for.
Well, they've always tried to do that.
Yeah.
They have.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's working, but I give them.
I mean, it was a good show, which is what the race was. It's not they weren't wasn't for points or anything. It was just a show. It was like a big promotional event to promote the season. Like, watch our races.
It's like an all-star game, right?
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Like, yeah, just for fun. Just for
every
fun.
commercial was a different track promoting their race.
Yeah.
So it was like a good way to get the word out, kind of thing.
Commercials. The new Lord of the Rings TV show trailer will be during Super Bowl, which I'm very excited to see.
I'm assuming, yeah.
You know
how much it costs for a 30-second ad during the commercial, during the Super Bowl?
It's always something ridiculous.
$7 million.
Yeah.
For a 30-second ad.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a lot of cryptocurrency, Bud Light commercials.
Yeah.
Doritos commercials.
You know, as a young person, when I would hear that, I'd be like, oh my God, it's such a lot of money. Now that I'm 42 and you say that, it doesn't faze me at all. Like, I'm not impressed.
It's still a lot of money.
It is, but at the same time,
it's kind of a waste of money in my opinion.
It's a waste of fucking money. Yeah. I
think it's what you're trying to say is when you're young, it's like crazy. Like, how can they're like, now you're older, you're like, why are they wasting money on 30 seconds?
Because you can put that ad on YouTube right now and monetize an ad, make money off the ad. So people have to watch an ad.
Probably make the 77 million if you did it right.
Yeah, and you could spend that money better.
It's like you see one more commercial for Invisalign on YouTube. Good Lord.
Good Lord. But yeah, interesting. Let's move on. Mark, how was your week? I know we saw each other over the weekend.
We did
play a board game. What's the name of the board game again?
The King's Dilemma.
Now, for people who listen to our show or are watching us right now, the King's Dilemma is a living board game.
It's a legacy game is what it's called.
Yeah, legacy living. It continues until you complete it. There's a storyline.
Most games, but yes.
But it's not in one sitting. Like a board
game. No, it's not that kind of game where you can
it's
play
living. It. So like our names are in it and everything.
Yeah, you can play minimum from talking to John, because I was trying to learn more about the game itself to be able to tell other people about it, because other people have asked about it. That I have no idea what this. I can't explain it to you. So it's like I said, a legacy game. You can only play through it once, and you can't. There's no replay to the game.
Right.
You have to play a minimum of 15 hours is the minimum you play to finish the actual game itself.
It's depending, because
that's the minimum. You have to play at least 15 hours.
Yeah.
Because you play in rounds.
Yeah. And we
can only play 5 people. It has to be 5 people. You can't play less. You can't play more. So
right. So we're the council of different areas. We choose the rules, these things that are happening.
Yeah, Bryon plays a very terrible part of the council.
Well, we all play weird. I mean, you're playing the game. I don't know why you're obsessed with that. That's just how the game is supposed to be played. Whatever the card tells me how I should play the game. If I want to win, that's how I got to play the game, my friend.
Yeah.
So anyway, each person represents something, and you have to play to get points each round. And we're the council, and we debate how something should be voted on.
Yeah.
And you can pass, like our friend Jeremy, who passes constantly.
All the time. I don't think he votes on anything.
No. And it just, you realize, wow, well, politics is the same way, because this is why things never get done. Because people like Hutzel don't want to put their...
It happens when like the majority doesn't initiate anything, and it's like a minority vote, basically. Like it ends up being 2 people deciding a major issue.
Yeah. Totally.
Or you get stuck having to decide on an issue you don't want to have to deal with, because no one else puts forth any effort.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's a great game.
I guess they're working on a sequel, John said, called The Queen's Dilemma.
The Queen's Dilemma, which we'll probably play next. We have probably like 1 or 2 more sessions in us.
Yeah.
Now, I agree with John that we should have our cell phones upstairs, and then
not upstairs, but I mean, I think
away from us, not in our hands.
No.
But my cutoff is midnight, man.
I know. You're an old man now,
dude. I honestly, when when Dan said one, and I said out loud, I am so fucking tired. And Dan's like, one more round. I could tell you nothing about that last round. I kept
I know you
asleep.
couldn't because you were passed out.
Dude, John kept slapping me in the legs. He's like giving me the Heimlich. I don't know what's going on. Like my body was just being used and
Touched you in the
abused by
crotch.
John.
Yeah. You're like moving.
Dude, I am tired. Like, so midnight should be really our cutoff. Like between midnight and 1, I can't function, dude. And it ruins my whole Sunday.
Yeah, the whole next day. Like I was zonked all day Sunday.
I can't do that shit. So if we play again, if it hits 1 o'clock, I'm just leaving. I'm just gonna go. I'm done.
Well, I think
I'm out of here.
Like we decided, we talked about. I think if we make a midnight cutoff, we'll be fine.
We should. Yeah, that's what it should be. Because
like I said, I also have a 20-minute drive home, so it's not like
right. And
it was quite the experience driving home on Saturday. So
if we meet there at 5,
there's like a huge police presence on Route 5 by
Jimmy's. But why would you be past Jimmy's? You go the opposite.
I went that way. I went the highway back.
But the highway's that way. Why would you go left or you go right? The highway's right there. You went the long way, my friend.
No, out of Hutzels.
Out of Hutzels, you take a right. You can get on 91.
No, I didn't go back through the neighborhoods. I just go right at the top of the street, take a left, go down to Route 5, and then go that way.
All I'm saying is when you get to Route 5, you can take a right.
I know, but I'm saying I can see it from the intersection. I could see the police cars all gathered in front of Jimmy's.
So you didn't pass it?
No. Well, I passed it as in like I saw it in the distance and went the opposite direction.
All right. That's because I was like confused. I'm like, why would you go opposite way? I drove by and there was cops at Jimmy's.
And then I went to go onto the highway down by the hotel there by the Fairfield. As I'm going around the ramp to get onto the highway, there's this headlights like in the middle of the field there. I'm like, what the hell?
The cop?
And I slowed down. No, a car had missed the exit completely.
Oh,
it was almost up the hill, like pointing up the hill towards my ramp. And it was just sitting there. And like there people were like climbing out of that car. And there was like a couple cars, like it was all looked like Fast and Furious cars.
Yeah.
All like parked on the ramp. And they were all like running out to go help him, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh,
it's dangerous to go out
like,
that
get
way
me out of here! Get me out of
like
here.
Midnight is a good cutoff for us. Like if we get there at 5, we're playing by 6.
Yeah,
plenty of freaking time.
Yeah,
plenty of time.
I agree with you. I'm not arguing with you.
I highly recommend the game if you're into board games.
Yeah, I like it's one of those games where it's like as we're playing it this last time, I kind of started figuring out how to play finally. Well, like how to work it, like my group, like the house I'm playing, and integrating it into like how the gameplay.
Yeah.
Because it's not a simple game. You have to like
a lot of
I've
rules.
never played a legacy game like this before, so I don't know.
A lot of rules. Yeah.
I don't know how it all works out and everything and how it all works. But I think I'm gradually like getting to figure out how to.
What will happen is we'll totally get the game right when we're finishing it.
Well, that's what I like thought about that too. I felt like saying like I wonder if like I'd almost want to like play it, like get the game again, but make us all play different houses.
Yeah, but we got Queen's Dilemma to play. I don't want to play.
It's not coming out till like next year sometime.
I thought you said this year.
No.
Well, it's still fun. We could.
Yeah, no, it's fun. I'm just saying it'd be nice because now I'm like I know how to do it. I know what I'm doing now.
Right. I think John said you can play it more than once. You can play, I think, like a couple times because there's enough stickers to play it like maybe 3 or 4 times, and then that's it. I don't think it's a one and done. I think it might be a 4 and done, maybe.
Because you would burn whatever cards are already burned. You couldn't play them again. So you just have to play again. But
without
just different houses, just play with those cards that are still available.
Right. You could get the white out and white out your names off things. But I don't know. It's a good question for John.
Yeah.
Other than that, Mark, how was your week? Anything worth mentioning? I got a few things.
Yeah. I actually just randomly looking for something to watch because it's kind of that weird time frame where the shows are coming out weekly. So we're not like getting like a bunch of shows to watch all at once. So I've had some downtime. And I've been like trying to figure out, I'm like, I just want to watch something. I haven't Like I want to watch a show that like I've heard about for years, never really got into, give it a try, see how I like it. So, like I said on Saturday, I bit the bullet and I started watching Attack on Titan. It's on Hulu. I'm watching the dubbed version. I know I'm being the generic white and not watching the subtitled version. I just don't want to read.
Why? I watched the
lazy.
dub version of Cowboy Bebop, and the cast is amazing.
Oh yeah, I know, but I'm just saying. I know, like it's just I know there's a faction out there that's very much watch it the way it was aired.
Yeah, whatever.
Or whatever.
They can bite me.
Yeah, I just don't have the time to like. I just want to sit and watch the show. I don't want to like go through a whole thing of trying to figure out who's saying what and all that stuff. So I started watching it. I burned through the first season already.
Wow.
And the first season's like 20 some odd episodes, 23 episodes, I think.
Jesus Christ.
4 episodes. And they're short, they're only like half an hour. So
yeah.
When you zoom through the really long Japanese open they have at the front of it, it probably mocks out to about 15, 20 minutes.
They always, I mean, Cowboy Bebop's got the best opening of all time.
Yeah, it does. And the ones for Attack on Titan is really cool. It's a long song version, like extended, like Vox Machina, very long.
Yeah.
Drawn out intro. And they do like the recap at the beginning, and that's like another couple minutes, and they, so it's probably works out to about 15, 18 minutes total.
Right.
You can zoom through them pretty quickly. And I've always like when we used to go to Comic-Cons all the time, see all the kids wearing the outfits and
very popular.
Everyone talking about it all the time. So I was like, all right, I'll bite the bullet and I'll check this out. I like it. I'm annoyed by the lead actor, which I don't know, which I'm gonna like try to find someone who watches the show. If you do watch the show and you listen, reach out to me. I have questions. I want them answered. I'm not a huge fan of the lead of the show. I find him to be extremely annoying. I don't know if that's just the dubbing, the person they had dub the lead actor's character, but he seems extremely annoying. It's very strange. But no, so that's what I've been doing, is watching Attack on Titan on moments when I have time.
Cool.
I'm in the second season. It's crazy to see because I guess they started in 2013. Again, I don't know if this is when it aired.
Yeah, it's a newer anime.
It's
a newer one.
Yeah, so 2013, but then they didn't do the second season till 2017. So I don't know if it was kind of along the lines of the Cowboy Bebop situation where like they weren't planning on doing it again. Like it didn't, like, I don't know. So it was a weird gap. But it's crazy to see the change in animation style from just 2013 to 2017. Like the animation like leaps and bounds. Because it goes from like 4:3 to 16:9, basically.
Yeah.
So
that's cool. Well, keep us posted how how it's going. I want to jump into Trigon because that's on Hulu, and I've always heard good things about it.
What is Trigon?
It's another anime.
Well, I get that, but I'm saying, like, what is it about?
I think it's more in line with a bounty hunter sort of thing. I don't know. Okay. It's an anime I've always been interested in. So now that this
is like the Attack on Titan. The more I'm watching it, it's like Hutzel said, it's basically like Walking Dead, but with just giants as opposed to zombies.
Right.
But as you get into the second season, it gets more like political intrigue stuff, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. So I have 5 episodes of the live action Cowboy Bebop show. I've been watching one a day. I got 5 more to watch this week. On my off days where there's not something new to watch, I've been watching one episode and I've been enjoying them. I'm hoping to finish the series by this weekend, and maybe next Monday we can talk about it.
Finally talk about Cowboy Bebop.
The live action show.
Yes.
I still think the anime is way better, but I think I think the live action show has its moments of being good and it's enjoyable, and because I miss those characters, this is my gateway to have those characters in my life.
Exactly. That was my thing with it. And I think I think the show suffered a lot from people wanting it to be the anime.
Well,
Just
they
not.
do remix a lot of the anime. They
Yeah.
do take
Yeah.
a lot. I don't 100%. I'm not aboard 100% with Faye and how they portraying her. I'm also not 100% in how um, Jet is portrayed. I don't like the whole he's divorced and his
Yeah.
wife is now going out with the sheriff and
Or
he has
another
a daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's looking for a toy. I'm like, no,
It's like
that's so
they tried to
westernized.
like give him a they tried a connection him
It felt
too much.
like it felt to me very traditional,
Yes.
like cliche
Yes.
story that the anime veered against.
Yeah.
And that if they had just kept that origin story the way the anime had it, I think it would have been better.
They tried too hard to like force feed, like make it palatable for
Western audience.
westernized, which it doesn't need to be.
I think when it's clever, it's because it's copying the anime.
Yes.
When I think sometimes it falters is because they're trying to be original. It doesn't always
Yeah.
hit.
Yeah.
I also the reason I like the woman who's portraying Faye, the actress. I think
Yes.
is really good. I think she's doing the best that she's given. I don't like the fact that Faye is only with them in the anime out of convenience, not because she likes them. The only person she ever bonds with is Spike. But in this, she's it's almost like a ragtag team. She's gonna.
They delve more into it as the season goes on. You'll find out more this week.
I know.
I
I have 5
season.
Yeah, I have 5 more episodes.
It definitely, from watching it, in my interpretation, is they were definitely setting up this first season as like the origin story season. Like, here's everyone's basic like intros.
Yeah.
And then the next season was supposed to be more of the weekly adventure stuff.
Well, this is still weekly adventure. Every episode.
I'm saying, but I think it was
adventure.
more like they were leading towards like a bigger thing happening.
Well, like I said, let's
the end of the first season does it gets
let's put a pin pin in this and we'll come back next week. Also real quickly, I wrote everything down. I did see Jackass with my brothers on Friday. Laughed my ass. I have not laughed so hard in the theater probably since The Hangover or the last Jackass movie. It was a decent crowd in there, and it was just an awesome movie. It felt good to just be in the theater with a bunch of folks and just laugh your ass off. Ridiculous movie. It did win the box office over the weekend. Spider-Man knocking down to number 2. And Spider-Man's so close. It is like I'll get into that in a minute. But Jackass, a lot of fun.
And the scary part is this is even before the push, like the second wave push that they're gonna start doing.
Yeah.
Which I'm assuming is gonna happen around the Super Bowl. I'm assuming there's gonna be a commercial in the Super Bowl for it.
Yeah, I believe so. I wrote down everything. Then one last thing, I want to bring up your least favorite Marvel movie, Internals. The reason I'm bringing up Internals, I just want to bring. We're 5 minutes on the clock, and we're gonna go right now.
I'll give you a 3.
Here we go. I'm at Target the other day, and as a 42-year-old white male, I of course look for the toys. I saw the R2D. I saw the R2D2.
I know you sent me a picture of it. I know
that box is massive, and it makes it feel like it's going to be a bigger R2 unit. It's only a foot tall.
Yeah,
but
I think it's just a lot of pieces.
You're right. I see that box, and I'm like, "There's no fucking way that thing's."
I know. I saw the box too in the store, and I was like, "It looks way bigger than it does."
I want it. 200 bones.
I know. Yeah,
it's expensive.
I did tell the wife Valentine's Day is coming. So.
Right. It's her birthday though, so
I know. I could get boned. I get boned.
You gotta wait
dream.
You gotta wait for your birthday. Yeah. Which is not that far away, Mark. So
I mean, I even was like, I'm so like, because I know the other helmets that are coming, which they announced.
Yeah, Mandalorian.
I sent them to you, Mandalorian and the Rogue 5 helmet, Red 5 helmet. So I'm like, oh, man, I gotta like pick and choose which ones I get when.
Right.
But I don't know if I can wait that long. So that's everything too. It's like I might just have to go get them myself.
Like I said, check Target. They was going sale.
I know.
Anyway, so I'm checking the toys out like I do, and they have a clearance section, and which is something new for Target. I haven't noticed this before, so I'm like, oh, it's in clearance. And
Eternals
as I look,
every Eternals toy,
I see all the Eternals, those big
Marvel Legends
balls. Yeah,
like $20 a pop.
they're all, the whole cast is there.
Yeah.
And it got me thinking that I enjoyed the movie. The plot was okay. But as of February, after seeing this movie, 6 months ago?
Yeah.
5 months ago?
Yeah.
I can say that all those characters have left my mind. Yes. I think none of those characters were that interesting. And I think overall, they were very bland. Every one of them was the blandest thing I've ever seen.
I don't think any of them integrate into the bigger MCU.
Well, they will be.
But
they will be.
But I don't if they don't show up again, I'm not going to be heartbroken about it.
Well, they will. But here's my thing. I think they have a time to shine with better writing and with other characters around them. I think as a group, the Eternals together was just it should have just been the bland bunch, because overall, I could care less about any of them.
None of them had any personality that was worth me watching.
None of them stood out.
No. Angelina Jolie looked like she didn't even want to be there. She was just there for a paycheck, basically.
Yeah, well,
I don't know if that's her character. But then again, Angelina Jolie just plays Angelina Jolie in everything. She doesn't have any acting talent.
Yeah.
So I don't.
It's a one and done for me. I don't think I'll ever rewatch that movie.
I don't the only thing it was for, and it's been long enough now, or it's all it was for basically was to reintroduce Blade as Ollie in the post-credit scene and get Black Knight out.
Well, also we know that now we have a big
and introduce Harry Styles as Star Fox.
No, but we have that thing. We have the whatchamacallit in the planet sticking out now.
The Eternal, the Celestial.
The Celestial.
A dead Celestial, and then
is it dead or it's frozen?
Either way,
we don't know. It could awaken.
But then again, as I said after watching the movie, something like that's happening on the planet, and not one Avenger leaps or bops about it.
Mark, we all know that it will be brought up in a future movie. We know that.
Will it though?
It will. Doctor Strange.
How far? Doctor Strange is going to be worrying about the multiverse of madness. Ant-Man's worrying about Quantumania. None of these characters are going to be referencing anything that happened in the Eternals, probably.
Come on, Mark. Someone will reference.
Guardians of the Galaxy is probably the first one to mention anything. It's not even going to be about what happened on Earth. It's going to be about Star Fox when they're off on the ship.
I don't know. I think someone will make reference to it. There's no way.
It's got to be shoehorned in somehow. Someone's going to be like, oh, man, it was crazy when that Celestial came out of the planet.
It's going to be on a TV news or something like that.
Yeah, but it's going to be not worth... Yeah, I don't know. It was one of literally the biggest throwaway movie of all Marvel movies. It's we just need to put these out so we can get them out there and people can say that we did it.
I know I knew those toys weren't going to sell when I saw them at Walmart and Target.
Who's going to play with them? What are you going to play?
I know.
What are you going to do with them?
I know. Even people who collect aren't buying them.
Who wants a bland Angelina Jolie character?
Or any of them.
Name one character that was in that movie besides Angelina Jolie. Name any of their characters' names. You don't no one knows any of them.
Was Ganesh a name?
I don't know. Sure, if you say it, I'd go with it.
Was Sprite 7-Up?
Yeah, Sprite was the girl, the young redheaded girl. But that's only because I drink Sprite, so I remember the name. But besides that, I don't know.
Yeah, Superman was in it, right?
No, fake Superman was in it.
Fake Superman was in it.
The guy that was in
Icarus. Wasn't that Icarus?
Yeah.
But because
he flew into the sun. So what's the difference?
His name was Icarus. We knew that was going to
I can't even tell you who's still alive. Besides, I know he's dead. I know the dark-haired girl's still alive. That was dating Jon Snow.
Yeah.
But then a Celestial came and picked her up and took her away.
Is Angelina Jolie dead?
Angela Jolie, I believe, is dead, but she went on the ship, so who knows?
I don't know. Okay, 5 minutes is up. Let's move on.
I can't.
I did the.
I don't want to put any more effort into thinking about it.
Anyway, I just want to bring it up that I saw the entire.
So if you want
cast
Eternals toys, now's the time to grab them.
Target.
Because in 20 years, everyone's gonna be like looking for Eternals toys because it's gonna somehow make a lot of money because it's gonna be like one of those toys you can't find.
Nobody cares about.
This is a random Marvel movie that they made.
All right, Mark. Let's jump into the news that will bring us right into our stuff we normally talk about.
Okay.
I'm going to do box office news real quick. Over the weekend, Jackass Forever, Moonfall.
Yes.
And Moonfall kind of just beat out Spider-Man just by a hair with 9.9 million. Spider-Man with 9.5 million. Scream, Sing 2.
I can't tell you. I couldn't think of one person that would want to see that movie.
Yeah, Moonfall. It looks horrible.
It's like just a high budget sci-fi, like the channel sci-fi movie. Like I said last week, I just don't see it like.
So overall, I'm going to domestically right now. We have Star Wars, Avengers, Avatar, Spider-Man: No Way Home, and Spider-Man: No Way Home is very close to beating Avatar. I think that maybe in 1 or 2 weekends, it will be the number 3 domestic, highest grossing movie of all time.
It's be crazy.
Yeah, please beat Avatar. Worldwide,
what does James Cameron do if Avatar 2 is terrible?
I think they're going to be terrible. I don't think it's going to be as big as Avatar.
Because they're supposedly shooting like 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, consecutively, them all back to back. Yeah.
But if 2 comes out and it's atrocious and no one goes and sees it, what do you do with 3, 4, and 5?
I don't know. You're James Cameron. Do you care? Probably not.
I don't. I guess not.
Spider-Man: No Way Home.
Disney, I would care.
Sits at number 6 at the worldwide, right behind Avengers: Infinity War, Star Wars, Titanic, Endgame, and Avatar. It could potentially beat Infinity War. It's a big one. If it can get to the 2 billion mark, then
I think it's going to get past Avatar, and that's it. That's where it'll plateau.
If it beats Avatar, it has a potential beating of Force Awakens. Yeah. But I think it's going to have a hard time beating Titanic and Endgame and Avatar. I think that it might be tough.
Yeah.
So that's what's going on in the box office. This morning we had the Oscar 22 nominations. I'm just going to give you the best picture real quickly. Belfast, Coda, Don't Look Up, Drive My Car, Dune, King Richard, Licorice Pizza, Nightmare Alley, The Power of the Dog, and West Side Story are all nominated for Best Picture. I've seen 2 out of all those. One movie I really want to see is Nightmare Alley, which is a remake. And it's on HBO Max right now. And the rest.
Oh, is that the Bradley Cooper Guillermo del Toro movie?
Yeah. It's a remake of an old movie called Nightmare Alley. But it's supposed to be Willem Dafoe's in it, Bradley Cooper.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be, it looks really good. It looks interesting. I mean, I definitely want to check it out. I will probably try to watch these movies, but I'm not going to watch West Side Story. I am interested in Licorice Pizza. It does look good. PTA movie. And I don't know. The rest of it looks okay. It's kind of a weird year for movies because there wasn't a whole lot.
Drive My Car movie? What was that one you talked about?
Drive My Car. I don't even know what that is.
I didn't even know what that was.
I don't know. Belfast.
People like Don't Look Up still baffles me, but that's the whole here and there.
I like it. Drive My Car.
That's not a basis though. You like everything.
What does it matter? You're so obsessed.
No, you like everything.
I don't like everything.
Unless it's Transformers, you like it.
I told you things I don't like. So that was the Oscar stuff. We have to move on, Mark.
Drive My Car. An aging widowed actor seeks a chauffeur. The actor turns to his go-to mechanic, who ends up recommending a 20-year-old girl. Despite their initial misgivings, a very special relationship develops between the two. It's a Japanese movie.
I was about to say, I think it's a Japanese movie.
Yeah. Or a Korean movie, whichever.
So Marcus, we don't want this show to go too long.
Yes.
Vox Machina dropped 3 episodes on Amazon.
It
did. Really enjoyable. I'm enjoying the series. I kind of wish they just dropped 2, because when they dropped 3, I kind of mush it all together, and I couldn't tell you really what happened in each episode because
the first one was the aftermath of the Whites. I guess that's what they're called. The ghoul characters, whatever they're ghosts, whatever they're called.
Yeah.
But I guess they're technically called Whites. I asked John about it. And I looked it up myself a little bit. So it's aftermath of that, and Pike takes off on her own to go get the Everlight out, and then the other group goes to Whitestone, to Percy's hometown, to take on the Briarwoods.
Yeah,
basically what the 4th episode basically is, the trip to Whitestone.
Right. And who gets bitten?
Val again gets bitten by the terror dog, whatever they're called.
I'm watching this going, man, when we were playing our campaign, this is the shit that we've happened to us.
Yeah. No, and it's very, like, you could definitely, it's cool too, because the way the story goes, you can see, like, basically how they rolled.
Yeah.
Like in that episode, they all jump off the cart, but the cart goes over the cliff. Their bag falls off the cart. Then a piece of the thing is because someone couldn't do a saving throw to grab the bag in time, so the bag falls over the side.
Yeah.
So it's like stuff like that. And then they, especially in the 5th episode, when they do the attack on the barracks to break out the dwarf, the front group goes in no problems. The back door group spends the first half of the battle basically trying to break into the place, and they can't get figured out, which means none of them could roll. They're all having a bad roll time.
Right.
Even Percy tried to break in through window and fell out of the window because it's not his shtick. So
totally,
that was funny. And then, like, you get to see, like, where the DM finally was like, we have to get you into this battle. I have to find a way to get you in here. So a random soldier empties a piss bucket out the back door, throws it on top of them, and that's how they get in. So that was funny, because it's like, you could see how, like, their actual campaign was going as they were doing it. Like, you can see the aggravation, because we've all been there trying to sneak in somewhere and you can't even get the door open.
Or one of us decides to go and do their own thing.
Yes.
For no apparent reason.
Yes.
Or split up the group. Party. Yeah. Separate the party, which is always a bad idea.
Yes.
But yeah, those were, it was good. I'm excited. Like, a part of me I want to watch them all, like, when we get to the last week and watch them all back to back before the final 3. Because they go by quick. Well,
they're only like half an hour, so that's why they're like 20 minutes. So it actually works out better that they're in groups of 3, because it's basically like an hour long show.
Right.
Kinda.
Yeah, you're right. Peacemaker this week, episode 6. Fantastic episode. Holy crap. So many awesome moments in this one with Eagly taking down the cops. Then the Swede, he is just the best. That actor. When he has to pretend he's sad that the cops were killed.
Yes.
And he's just like, yes. And they did, after the credits, they did like a part where he's just like trying to, like, get himself to be sad. And he's just like, oh, and he just starts laughing.
Yeah.
I was dying. Like, the show.
Although the more that, like, I was watching that episode, and then at the end of the episode where the butterflies attack the police station, and they're all walking and they're all trying to figure out how to smile.
Yeah.
And they cut to him and he does. I'm like, oh my gosh,
he's so good.
How has he not been approached about playing
more things,
any kind of super villain? Like a Joker or but any kind of those guys, like.
Well, he is. He's in this
like Hobgoblin, like any of those characters. He's just as good as, like.
Oh God! Like, this episode. I mean, the fact that I'm thinking.
How does he had more things? Like, how has he only been in these? Like, I've only ever seen him in Hell on Wheels and this. Like, I've never seen him do anything else.
He could have been maybe stuff we haven't watched.
Yeah.
I don't know. this episode is interesting because the diary I thought might not happen, and then they find it, and they're trying. He is on their side, the Swede. But once the butterfly takes over, all bets are off. The diary gets exposed. Peacemaker gets exposed.
Well, because we find out the guy that's running Peacemaker's
is a butterfly.
Is a butterfly too. So he's like the anti to that group. He's trying to
stop them.
So
that's how he knows so much about them.
Yeah, so that's why they're like trying to debunk him, basically.
Yeah, basically. And it's got interesting, man. It was so good. Such a good episode.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see. I mean, I think we have like 2 more episodes left.
Yes. 7 and 8.
Yeah. So I think we'll be able to talk more about that next week because, next week we'll talk more and get ready for the finale. But we have the finale tomorrow for the Book of Boba Fett, which I think we should just jump into now, unless you have anything else to say. Peacemaker. I mean,
no, Peacemaker. I'm
setting up. It's setting up the last 2 episodes. So
how they do all this and try to maneuver how they've set these things up. It's going to be interesting to see how that all turns out.
Yeah, and this episode of Peacemaker was, between him and Vigilante saying, what happened? We could kill people and be like, whatever. And it's Peacemaker, Chris, him coming to terms with he's now seeing how the world sees him, and he doesn't like that because he's all ego. I mean, when your ego is hurt like that, he's like, maybe I should change my ways because I don't want to be known as an he thinks he's fighting justice the way it should be fought. But when reality hits him, he realizes that's not the case. That's not the way.
Also, going back to the Swede, I looked him up on IMDb while we were talking, and some other things you might know him from, Brian. Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus.
I haven't played Wolfenstein 2 yet.
All right, he played Horton Boone in that. He was also in this show called Damnation. He was also in Far Cry 5 as the sheriff.
He was in Far Cry 5?
Earl Whitehorse.
Wow. Maybe I didn't recognize his voice, or maybe I did. Huh.
Yeah.
Now, 5 took place in Montana, and it was about cult leaders.
Yeah.
So maybe I recognize his voice, but I didn't know it was him.
Yeah. He's also in the show Them, which is just out last year.
Never seen that.
Black Hat Man. The Black Hat Man.
Oh, interesting.
He was in a show called Pure. I was in a bunch of episodes of that. He's done
a lot.
Chapel White. He's in a bunch of episodes of that. Peacemaker. He's going to be in Corner Office, which is coming out. A mini series coming out Under the Banner of Heaven, and he's going to be in a movie or something called The Guardian Angel. So yeah, so he's in a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
I think he's in stuff we just don't recognize him in because he doesn't look the way he does,
Well, yeah, or we don't watch any. I didn't watch any of those shows. So
yeah.
But he's a great actor. What's his name? We should know.
His name is Christopher Heyerdahl.
Okay, Christopher Heyerdahl.
Heyerdahl. Christopher Heyerdahl. I'm trying to figure out how to pronounce it.
Okay.
Christopher Heyerdahl.
Well, now we know.
Yeah, he's a
great actor.
Yeah, he's good. He's a good villain. He plays a very good villain.
Let's jump into the Book of Boba Fett. This episode was, dude, I got the chills. I got member berries.
Oh man,
got tears in my eye.
The craziest thing of this whole episode.
I'm a basic white bitch because this episode killed me. I'm a basic white bitch.
The craziest thing I found out after this episode was that Mark Hamill didn't do anything in this episode. He was not involved in this episode at all.
Well, yeah, but his likeness is what was.
Yes, but I mean, he himself didn't act at anything in this.
It was a different actor, and then they
Yeah,
used
it was
the
the stunt double who
technology.
actually was the X-Wing pilot from the previous episode.
Yeah.
The younger X-Wing pilot. He's like the stunt double that they use to play. He's the body double for Luke Skywalker.
Right. Yeah.
So he did the whole show, whole episode.
And
And
AI
what they
did
did
his
is they used
voice.
this new program
Yeah.
that Industrial Light and Magic Lucasfilms came up with. I can't remember the name of it right now. It's like Volo or something like that. And it takes every piece of audio you put into it, and it then like can pump out whatever you type into it.
Yeah.
Script wise, it'll give you that wording.
His visually stunning. His voice didn't really have much inflection to it.
Yeah.
I think it could get better.
Yeah.
That was probably the weak part. I mean, visually, I was blown away. When he spoke, he was very monotone. Like he didn't
which
get
was
excited.
that, which actually worked out on their benefit, because at the time
he's a Jedi.
Of Luke at that point, he is that character.
Yeah.
And he is very monotone. He's very this minimal emotions.
It wouldn't be old Luke when he's younger and he got excited by things.
Exactly. Like, because he's also at a point where this is right after he basically killed his father.
Right.
Where his father dies in front of him.
Yeah.
He just had the whole Empire thing happen. It's literally 5 years after that. So I heard a lot of people being like, "Oh, I can't believe they're putting Luke and like making Luke out to be this way, and why does he have to like make Grogu choose between?" Because at this point, this is where Luke was. Luke was at this point where he thought he had to be hard edge Jedi guy, and you can't do anything else. Like you have to be like going by the old ways of the Jedi, because he had the books, which are in the sequels, the new movies, on the ones that are on the shelf in the tree.
Yeah.
He had those books in that rotunda thing he had.
Yeah.
Whatever the canopy thing he built, or the robots built. So reading up on the Jedi, that's what he thinks that's what you have to do. You have to like cut ties with everything, and you have to only be a Jedi. You can't have any outside attachments. So
well, he's because he has no one to
tell him what's going on
to do. So he has to go by these books. And I think that's why The Last Jedi, I love that scene between him and Yoda. And Yoda, when the books were on fire, and Yoda just says to him, "It's, you know what, the books were an outline. You know in your heart what you should be doing."
Yes.
Like it's internal. It's not coming from these sacred texts. You held them too high.
It's like you think that we went by just this one book. Like that's, you think how we did everything. It's like we like it molds into different ways to do things, and each person brings their own interpretation into it and expands it, and
I love
changes how things happen.
I love that scene between the two, because that it shows you where Luke was in this show. And that he's the monk. Jedis were the monks, meditating, becoming one with the Force. And he wants to teach others how to do so. And obviously we know
not Goku, even just, and the thing is like a thing of it is it shows, like you were saying, like we like talk about in Last Jedi with Yoda and all that, and they have that whole conversation. It shows how Luke is just trying to figure it out. Like he doesn't have the information, because no one's ever taught him how Jedis were before. Like all he knows is the stories that are told about the Jedis and how they were a certain way and everything.
Yeah.
He has never seen Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan, all these Jedi acting the way that Jedis acted. His only conduit to that time frame right now is Ahsoka. And if she doesn't give him anything, he doesn't have anything. So it's like he's learning basically as he's teaching other people.
Yeah.
So it's a very, it's not even truly like, it won't even, and the more you think about it, and the more I watched the episode, I watched it a second time through, because I was like, there's some things I knew I'd missed. But you kind of see how he doesn't have, like, there's no, like, he's a teacher, he's teaching without having the knowledge. So he's not even really teaching, or wasn't really trying to make Jedi. Technically, it was like he was just making other people like him, basically. He was trying to force his knowledge of what he thought Jedis were.
Mark, I think what you're trying to say is
to like Ben and them.
It's the difference between book smarts and street smarts.
Yeah, exactly.
And
that's
Luke,
what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
Luke is teaching by the book, but
Yes.
he doesn't have much experience.
Yes.
So it'd be like if I'm going to teach television to someone, but I've never stepped foot on a studio.
Yeah.
Be very different if you taught the same class, but you come from that field.
Exactly.
So he is coming from a book side of things, and how this is how it should happen.
Yeah.
It's very analytical, but he's not. He doesn't have any. Every person that wanted to teach him died.
The thing that's been brought up many times by many people, probably, and I've thought about it before. It's like Luke never really was a Jedi. He's never been a Jedi. The Jedi Order died when they tore down the temple. That was the last Jedis. No one's ever gone and become a Jedi since then. And neither is Luke. Like Luke never went through the Jedi trials and was actually named a Jedi. He's just
Yoda was the only one.
The last Jedi basically was Yoda.
Yeah, but Luke, I think if you go back to the originals, Yoda basically tells him,
I know, but I'm saying, but he never actually went
Force,
through the whole process. I'm saying, so he doesn't really know like how it all worked and how everything. Like he never dealt with anything as a Jedi, like an actual assigned Jedi. So it's like it's very interesting to see him in that time frame trying to figure out everything, trying to figure out how to do things, building the academy and trying to restart that whole thing.
Right. And obviously he knows that Grogu, he can sense that Grogu doesn't really, he feels like there's a resistance that he doesn't want to be there. And that's why he gives him the choice. And obviously we all know Grogu is going to go with is it Dim? I keep saying
Din
Mandalorian. Yeah.
Din Djarin.
We know he's going to go with him because that would be the obvious choice, because
it would also be the out of having to I think someone put it online great. It bails Adam Driver out of killing Grogu.
yeah
because Adam Driver kills all the students in the new series, so it's like, well, that gets him off the hook. He doesn't have to be the guy that has it hung on him of him being the guy that kills Grogu.
I mean, also, we don't know that Luke, there could have been students that have come and left prior before Ben Solo.
There could be
because he was way older.
Ton of
Ben Solo could have come in later on in the academy when people had already come and gone.
30 years later on is when he that all happens.
So Grogu could be there for 10 years or more and then leave and be spared.
There could have been graduates of the new Jedi Order out and about somewhere that we don't know about.
Right.
But I love the fact the way they integrated in all the different characters, are now meshing them into a whole story as opposed to just individual stories.
Yeah.
Like bringing Ahsoka in, and the way they did that was very nice. Like she's like the cool aunt to Luke.
Mark, let's talk about the big one though. The big reveal, the big guy,
Cad Bane.
Yeah. What a scene that was, huh?
Oh, chills.
Fantastic.
As soon as I saw the outline, I was like, they're doing it.
Now I know who he is. I never watched the animated series, but I've seen his face a million times.
Huge in the Clone Wars. He's a huge Clone War character. Dave Filoni basically invented him. He is one of the coolest bounty hunters. He is like the second coolest bounty hunter to Boba Fett, in my opinion.
Yeah, but no, isn't he attached to the Sith? From what I read,
no. He is just a bounty hunter. He is just whoever pays him the most money, he'll work for.
No, he has Sith connections. He's a bounty hunter, but he has Sith connections.
But he's mainly just whoever pays him the most money. In Bad Batch, he was hunting the Bad Batch because he was tasked by the Empire to find Omega. So there's already a Boba Fett connection there. So yeah, the fact that they're using the same guy that does the voice is top notch because he's an awesome voice.
Yeah.
For Cad Bane. But he was one of those characters that you like. I was hoping they'd bring in somehow sooner or later. But it was also like, oh God, I don't know if I want it to happen, because if
But it happened.
If it's not what I pictured in my head it was going to be, like how he would look in live action.
He looked good.
Or as live action as they could make him without, but it was amazing.
Do you think what's his name's still alive?
Yes. He shot him in the arm.
Yeah, shot him in the arm. I think.
And I have a theory on him.
What?
Which I don't know if I want to mention the theory, because I don't know if I keep wavering on it.
Do you think he's going to show up for the final?
Yes.
Okay, me too.
The more I think about it, the more like I'm like been researching it, trying to figure out like hints and things, and trying to see if they're setting up something. But I don't know if do you read the Star Wars Bounty Hunters comic?
No. I mean, I might.
The main character of that
in.
comic is Valance. He's a bounty hunter, hence the name of the book. Boba Fett's in that, along with Bosk and all the big hitters, IG-88 and Balkus and all the different Folam and Dengar, who they're all people want to see show up in this next episode.
Right.
But anyways, so, and there's a bunch of other ones. Crimson Dawn gets involved. There's a whole thing. But Valance, who's the main character of most of the series, was a Imperial recruit around the same time as Han Solo. So that's how they bring him in. He's like a friend of Han Solo's from back when Han Solo was a Imperial TIE fighter pilot, and they were pals and all that kind of thing. And then Valance gets shot down, gets injured. They bring him back, basically turn him into an android.
Mm-hmm.
So he gets a full like android body. Through this series, things have happened. He's been killed, brought back, rebuilt by the Empire a couple times. Right now, he's basically a henchman of Darth Vader. But his look in the comic book, his mannerisms, and the way he speaks, very much, in my eyes, is very much the way Timothy Oliphant's character acts and emotes.
Yeah.
I know the thing of him having Boba Fett's armor would be a thing of why would he need that?
Yeah.
If he's an android. But the more I think about it is his character doesn't want to be involved in the Empire. Hates the Empire. Is trying to find any way to get out of being in the Empire.
Right.
What a perfect way to hide out would be to randomly end up on Tatooine.
I'm listening.
And try to disguise yourself in Boba Fett's armor out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. So you're saying there's that could be happening.
That he is an android, and that's why when he got shot, he was like, and that's why he's such a good like gunfighter, right? Because he's not human. He has.
Interesting. We will. That a good prediction for the finale.
The way he took out the pikes that quickly, and the way he shot everybody like that.
Yeah.
Like you wouldn't like living on Tatooine as just a random marshal. How would you get so good at? How would you be able to shoot like that unless you had some kind of training?
Yeah.
But their thing is online is he's a character from the books. Because I did look it up too. His character, Cobb, whatever his last name is a character from the books that are now being brought back into canon. And he was a slave who won his freedom and then decided to become a marshal out in the middle of this town is from the books. So I don't know. But
I'll have to check out Bounty Hunter. Maybe I'll wait for a trade paperback.
They just did the War of the Bounty Hunters, and the story was really good. And all involves Boba Fett. It's basically the transition from Star Wars being the end of Empire Strikes Back, the comic. From now transitioning from like in between, because it was at the beginning was between New Hope and Empire Strikes Back. Then they reset back to issue 1.
Yeah.
And now it's from end of Empire Strikes Back to the beginning of Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
So the big beginning story for Bounty Hunters and War of the Bounty Hunters was Boba Fett taking Han Solo in the Carbonite from Cloud City to Tatooine to Jabba the Hutt. But in that transport, when he was refueling somewhere,
I gotta get
trying to not
wireless.
get distracted by your.
I gotta get wireless wires.
Yes. So during that time frame, Crimson Dawn steals Han Solo's body in that Carbonite.
Yeah.
And there's a whole storyline behind that and everything. So that's what they're dealing with, the repercussions of that now, like the after effects of that whole story. So
I'll have to.
It's a really good book. I would suggest it. If you're a Star Wars fan and you're into the bounty hunters, it's a good book to read.
Well, I'm about to finish Why the Last Man tonight. I'm literally I'm so excited to finish it to see what happens. But maybe I'll jump into that next.
Somebody hungry or something? What the heck?
No, he's like, where were you? So I found you. So now I'm not going to leave you alone. And dinner time's not until tonight. So
yeah. Ellie's gotten to that point where she like does the cat tree, and then like all of a sudden they'll just like make a noise and be like, I want attention now. And it'll just come down the cat tree and come to find you and just be like, you have to pet me now.
Yeah.
And pet me for like 4 to 5 minutes. And then when I get bored with that, then I'm gonna take off again and you won't see me for another 4 to 5 hours.
I gotta play with this guy every morning or every night, because if I don't tire him out,
he's up all night.
He makes my life a living hell at night. Yeah. I gotta tire him out.
Which one is this one now? Who's this?
This is Fidget. This is Fidget. He's a young. He's
Fidget the midget.
He's only 2 years old. He's going on 3 years.
Ellie's only like a year and a half, so she's the same way. Like if I don't keep her busy at night, she just like runs dead sprints around the house.
Yeah. They get the zoomies.
Yes.
They go nuts because they're night animals. They like to be up all night.
She doesn't jump on the desk yet. She's gotten to the point. I have like a little bar stool next to my chair that I put next to the desk that she'll hop up on and sit on while I'm working. Yeah. That's about it. She hasn't come up on the table or anything yet. I've tried to keep her off the.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. So then once that happens, that's going to be the thing. She'll just lay on the table in front of me. So
yeah, you got to watch your keyboard because they always press all the buttons at once, and then your computer's fucked. Yeah. Believe me, I've been there.
Yeah.
Like, what did you do? And they like,
I don't know.
They detonated like some.
Yeah, they started nuclear war.
Yeah, I don't know.
Want to play a game? Yes.
I mean,
so it was a great episode. I know we delved really deep into it and went off the rails there for a bit, but it was great. We didn't see Boba Fett more. He didn't say anything. All he did was nod his head at Din, and that was it.
You know what though? That is his character normally.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to talk. If he did, why do we need to have him reiterate what she is saying?
And the great thing I've seen in a lot of places, a lot of people complaining about how it's not Mandalorian show or it's not the Boba Fett show anymore. It's the book of Boba Fett. It's telling this story of what happened to Boba Fett after
Sarlacc pit.
Yeah. After the Sarlacc pit, finishing up that part of his story, and now his story of now. Yeah. And it involves Mando is in that story. And in a regular book, if reading a book, there might be a chapter or two that jumps outside the main story and goes and tells the story of another character.
Yeah.
And then brings that person into this story. So that's what they're doing. It's just, I think it's just a different way of storytelling that people aren't used to in live action storytelling. It's more of a cartoon storytelling, which is what Dave Filoni comes from. So I think that's
people need to let go of the title and realize Star Wars is all encompassing. It's a whole universe. They're intertwining characters, and that just because the name is that doesn't mean we can't see other characters.
Like my thing is, I think it's people can call it like, oh, why aren't they just call it Mandalorian season 3? So if they called it Mandalorian season 3, you'd have been complaining that the first 4 or 5 episodes were just about Boba Fett.
Right, exactly.
And they weren't about Mando. So
and they know they cannot give us Mando without showing what happened after that season, because it would make no sense. It wouldn't. It would make no sense.
Yeah, because Mando season 3 is not even going to do with this. Like, this is still setting him up for Mando season 3. That's what this is for.
Yeah.
It's like, here's what happened to him after last season ended. We're going to get you from that to the next storyline, which is going to be
season 3.
Him going to Mandalore and the whole story with the black saber, the dark saber, and all that stuff.
Yes.
So I think that's what we're heading towards.
Yeah.
I think that's what we're going to get some of that in this episode.
Yeah.
We're going to wrap up Boba Fett's story.
I don't honestly, I love it. I think it's a great show. I think there's been up and downs when it comes to the book of Boba Fett itself, but with the Mando stuff is my favorite stuff. I think it's all coming together. I think this final episode, we will see why they did what they did.
Yeah.
I mean, you already know why they did what they did, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And I think Boba Fett works as a side character, and I think that he fits in this world well. I think
I even was to the point of, I almost, like, from watching that episode, I would not be adverse to a Luke show.
Yeah, I mean, the rumors are
if there was a Jedi Academy show where it's Luke, like, teaching new Jedi.
I think the technology.
They prove they can do it now. They don't need Mark Hamill.
They don't need that. Sebastian Stan was always the rumor, but I don't think you do. I don't think you do.
You can deep fake it enough now where you can get away with it.
Fun fact. So when they had Luke show up in end of Mandalorian season 2, we all complained that it was good, but it wasn't the best.
Yeah.
Then this guy on YouTube, he made it better.
Yeah.
Disney hired him.
Yeah.
And he's
the one doing
it
for this season.
Helping LucasArts perfect the craft.
Yeah.
And I don't think we need to recast Luke Skywalker because you're gonna upset half of the fan base.
Yeah. No matter what you do, someone's gonna be mad. So you just gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, people complain about everything, but I think if they did, they can get away with it now.
Yeah.
Mark, when Luke jumped up the bamboo tree and they zoomed out and you heard
music started playing.
Oh my God. I wet myself. I don't
know if I didn't wet myself, but
I wet myself. I evacuated all orifices. I was putty. I was putty in Disney's hand. Okay. Dude, I loved it. I loved it. I felt like a kid again. It captured the magic. And you know what? That's awesome. I think they did a great job. I think the voice can get better, but other than that, I have no complaints. None. It was fantastic. This is a 10, Mark, a 10 across the board of this episode. 10, 11. I give it 11. I break the scale with an 11 on this episode. What about you?
Oh, I will put it at I know I was going to try to save it for the finale, but I'm going to give this one a 10.
Yeah.
Because I'm assuming if this is a 10, the finale is going to be at least an 11.
Now, I have to work in the morning. I'm going to watch this episode as soon as I get home tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm staying off the internet.
Yeah.
I'm not going in our chat. I am not doing anything because I don't want anything to be spoiled.
Yeah.
So radio silence from tomorrow morning until I watch this episode, because
that's what last week was tough for me because I got work stuff and I got pushed back from watching it.
Dude, and I'm like, I know. I'm in the.
You were texting me, the chat was blowing up. People were sending me things on Facebook. I'm like, I can't. Just stay away from me.
I am not gonna say a word in the chat until I get a text from you.
Yeah.
Until you text me, you watched it. I'm not gonna say a word.
Yeah.
I'm staying off of it because I
don't plan on making it it's gonna be an early watch for me. If I don't think I have anything going on tomorrow. So I am getting my windows put in, so it won't be until after that.
Well, I could wake up when I wake up at 6. I could just watch it.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's you know what? I might have to do that. I think when I wake up at 6, I'm just gonna watch it. Usually I watch the news, but I
might break down because tomorrow we have the Windows guys come between 8 and 10 to put the windows in, but our new windows in. But I might just break down and tell Claire, like, in the morning I'm waking up and the first thing I'm doing before I even do anything is going in my office and watching the finale of Book of Boba Fett and get it out of the way, so that way I don't have to avoid the world basically.
So. All right, and we'll be back next week, Tuesday, Unfortunately, we another Tuesday.
Yeah.
And we'll
quickly
talk
in more Star Wars news. I
Yeah.
don't know if you saw this. It was announced this week that Rogue Squadron, the Patty Jenkins movie, is set for December 23rd release of next year.
I would be more excited if Patty Jenkins knew how to write a good movie.
She's not writing it. She's just directing.
Thank God.
I guess someone else is helping her write it.
Oh, well, someone helped her write Wonder Woman 84, and that movie sucked.
Well,
so I'm not that excited.
I mean, the first one was good. She wrote that one. So.
No, she didn't write the first one.
I guess she directed it.
She directed it.
Yeah.
So stick in your lane, Patty Jenkins. Don't write it, please.
I guess it's she is just directing it.
She is.
Matthew Robinson is writing the screenplay.
Okay.
She is not writing.
Okay.
She's just directing.
I'm fine with that. Totally. Yeah. Because she literally just rewrote the first Wonder Woman movie and took place in the 80s. It was like it was like seeing Hangover and then seeing Hangover 2 and you're like, that was the same fucking movie. like what did you do?
And we got a really weird Max Lord. Pedro
Cheetah
Pascal.
was horrible. It was just it felt like a movie from the early 90s superhero.
Well, I think that's what they were trying to get. She was
I don't think they were trying to do that. I think they just did it because they didn't know what the hell to do.
Yeah. But anyways,
they weren't good at their jobs.
So next year, another Star Wars movie in theaters.
We shall see if it's good or not.
Yeah, Rogue Squadron.
I think TV is where it's at. I think they should just make that a TV show.
I don't know.
I think Star Wars shines on television right now.
Well,
I hope I'm proven wrong. I hope I'm proven wrong.
Yeah.
All right, Mark. We should wrap it up.
Yes. We'll wrap it up for this week.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff to watch this week. Like we said, tomorrow we got the
finale,
Book of Boba Fett finale, and then Thursday Peacemaker episode 7, which finale is next week. And
Vox
Machina, 3 more episodes come out Friday.
And I got 5 episodes of Cowboy to watch this week. So we'll talk about it Monday. Well, I mean, even if I don't catch, Monday's going to be Tuesday's going to be a big show. So you know what? We might put a pin on that because we're going to have a lot to talk about. I'm sure.
We'll have the big Book of Boba Fett and all that. And we could save Cowboy Bebop for after Peacemaker and is all done and we have nothing to talk about. So
let's make that the plan. I'm still going to watch it, but we're going
to have some time to kill before we actually get.
Because Vox has a while. That's going to end in March.
We say that, but next week, Book of Boba Fett. Following week, end of Peacemaker. Following week is the Batman.
Oh, very exciting. We'll fit in Cowboy in there.
So Cowboy Bebop will probably be the week of the 28th, that week before Batman comes out. We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
So there's your next couple weeks planned out for you, everybody. So everyone have a good week. Enjoy yourselves, and we'll see you all back here next week. Be safe, be good, be kind.